Gwitch everybody, my name is Stable and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm going to talk about something, right? This is some bullshit that happened to me a while ago when I got the PS4. So if you can't already tell or you're blind somehow, the X circle and shit like that down the bottom left, it's because I now have a PlayStation 4. So to get this PS4 was not as easy as it should have been. Easily should have been, oh yeah, I go up to Gamestop, trade in a few things, get money and get the PS4 and go home. And then set it up, play it, probably record 1 or 2 videos or some shit. Yes, it's simple as. Sounds easy. Was it easy? Absolutely not. We're going to go through this day by day because it took me, I think, about 3 days to get a fucking PS4. We went up, packed everything up, Xbox 360, Xbox One, loads of games that I'd easily have enough money for. I thought I easily have enough money for it anyway. But of course not. So I get up there and they say I don't have the back of my Xbox One controller. So I was like, yeah, I didn't think it would have been much of a problem. It's just the back of an Xbox One controller. It's not really a big deal. But since I don't have the back of the controller, they won't take the whole Xbox controller. So that's €60 off the actual price that I'd be getting for it. So then I'm like, fuck this. I'm not going to give this and then lose €60 just because I don't have the back of an Xbox One controller. So I was like, fuck this. I'm going to go back and get an Xbox One controller. Find someone who will give me an Xbox One controller just to have because like they're cheap. They're cheap enough to buy on their own. They're like €2 or something to buy on their own. Just buy it off eBay or something like that off people selling them. But then after that they say they can't take the Xbox 360 because the fan is going too fast. Which is complete bullshit. Imagine not taking an Xbox 360 just because the fan isn't going too fast. I understand they're not taking them anymore, like they don't want them and they're just going to use any excuse not to get them because like people aren't buying them or anything. So that pissed me off for one because it was working perfectly fine, but they just wouldn't take it. On day one, I traded in all the games because I was getting rid of everything anyway. So I decided to trade in all the games on day one just because I didn't want to play them anymore. I didn't need to play them anymore because I was getting rid of everything. So we traded all them in, I brought everything back and waited for the Xbox One controller and then got that the next day. So then day two, I brought everything back up except for the Xbox 360 because they said they wouldn't take it. So then I come back the second day. She says, right, everything's fine. She takes it into the back to see if everything's working. Then what they do to sell on an Xbox One is they format it. They delete everything off it so they can sell it on. Like system resetting your Xbox One. So they do all that, all the games I have in it. I had Black Ops 3 downloaded digitally, everything. And then she deletes everything off it and then brings it back out in the box and tells me she can't take it. And then this has me pissed. I'm like, you told me yesterday everything was fine. I could bring it back up. I'd get the money for it. Then I'd be able to sort out a deal for the PlayStation. But no, fuck it. It's not like that. The fucking cunt gives it to me, everything back to me, then hands me the Xbox One, fails to explain that she formatted it. So my mom rings up the next day and she's like, what happened? Like, you never told them you formatted it. And she's like, you can easily get it back if you sign in onto your account. I'm like, bitch, I didn't know my email. I didn't remember my email. I'm getting rid of the Xbox. I don't need it. I didn't need to memorize it. I've had that Xbox for so long. I can't remember the email I used. My mom goes up. I'm at home. I'm not well. I was taking a day off school. I wasn't feeling the best. So my mom goes up with the Xbox and she's like, take another look. Oh, and she actually said that the HDMI was flickering black on the screen and it was going on and off the screen. So I bring it back, checked it. Everything was perfect. Nothing was wrong with it. It wasn't flickering black. None of that shit. So my mom turns to her and goes, call your manager. And then the woman turns around and goes, my manager doesn't like to be called on her day off work. And my mom's like, bitch, excuse me. This is my day off work. I don't like being told to come up here on my day off work just because some bitch isn't giving my little son his fucking money for his PlayStation. This is fucking bullshit at this stage. So she goes out to the back for like 20 minutes. I'm sitting at home like, where is she? What's going on? It's like they got in a fight. I'm only messing. They wouldn't get in a fight. My mom's not like that. But after like 20 minutes, my mom starts asking questions to her colleague. She's like, sorry, I'm waiting here for this bitch to come back out. She said she wouldn't be long. So she went out to the back to actually call her manager after saying she wouldn't. So this was all heated. Like everything was heated at this stage. Like, oh shit, what's going to happen next? And my phone wasn't working at the time. So I couldn't even like call my mom to find out what's happening. I just kind of had to wait. And the colleague says that she's out the back talking to the manager on the phone. So then the woman comes out and was like, the woman comes out and says, we actually can take the PlayStation now. And I'm like, excuse me? Why not give it to me but give it to my mom? Like that's just wrong. Like I have the exact same rights as my mom does. Like why wouldn't you be able to give me the PlayStation? Give me the money for the Xbox, sorry, but not give me... Why would you not be able to give me the money for the Xbox but then as soon as my mom goes up and asks a few questions, she gets the money straight away? It just shows that like they're not really taking it. They're not taking anything too seriously. And just because you're a kid, they think you don't really have any say in anything. You're just like, oh yeah, whatever you're told is told. Like, she handed it back to me on day 2, and she was like, we can't take it. I sat there and laughed. I let out a little laugh. I was like, is it not working anymore or what? I was like, it was working fine like 10 minutes before I left. She's like, well, it's not working now. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, it's like, what did I do so bad to you that makes you just hate me? Like, I didn't do anything wrong. So then my mom comes home and then tells me the story, and then my mom just goes back up and buys a PlayStation for me with the money that I got for the games and the Xbox and all. I wasn't well at all during this, and I had to get up because my mom was in work. And then my sister's boyfriend gave me a lift up to the centre and all. I had to carry an Xbox through the centre, 2 Xboxes through the centre with games and everything. I wasn't well, I wasn't feeling great, had a headache, and basically your mom is always right. It always works out that way, and it always fucking will. I think everyone can relate to that in some way, so that's all that matters. I have a PlayStation.